Surprise live. Well, no one's here yet.
It's fine. I'm just gonna keep talking. We can let.
All right, we seem to be online on Facebook and YouTube.
Perfect. As long as we're on.
We have 2 people joined with us so far on Facebook, as far as I can tell.
Okay. So.
You just get situated. Let's let them roll in.
Rolling. I have my papers.
Yep, we're live on.
Oh snap!
What's up? What do you need?
I need Jessie's
Oh no.
face.
Her face or code. I'll call her. Then we'll let all of Facebook know what her code is.
I'll take it off. Hi everyone. As you all come in, the surprise live that we're doing. Hi Mal. Oh, you're calling her.
Yeah, I'm calling her. Oh, that answers on her phone?
Yeah. Hi,
How
Shannon.
funny would it be if I had a different name on her phone? Hi, how are you?
Hi Tiffany.
Thank you so much.
How's Aaron doing? Hi Judy. This is from France. Hi Janice. Patty.
Sorry if you guys see my shirt.
Ashley Dennison. No, you can come say hi.
All right, I will come say hi. I'm walking in front of the camera.
Oh my gosh. Keen's wearing a cactus shirt.
Hello, how are you?
So we're here together. We're just doing a surprise live and we're talking about some lettering stuff.
Here you go.
Okay, perfect.
If it locks again, just let me know. I know the code. I'll never forget it.
Okay. Deal. Oh, microphone
Oh,
is dead.
no, it's not. There's no
Red.
way it's dead.
Red.
Push
Thank
it
you,
once.
Tamara.
Green.
We must have been a little quieter. Perfect, you're set.
Thank you, Tamara.
My microphone was on, but yes, thank you.
Misty, hello from day 14 of quarantine. Where are you quarantining, Misty? I feel ya. Hi, Jill. Hi, Kate. Oh, heading to bed. Oh, good. I'm glad. She said she's loving the kids' box in her
Oh,
house.
nice.
Her son's name is Cameron.
Cameron. Oh, I think I've seen some of those
With a
posts
K.
in.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you probably have. Okay. Am I good?
You're good.
Okay. Surprise, everyone. My name's Nicole. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm part of the Let's Make Art team, and I'm here in Missouri. I was filming some kids projects. Some of you might know that I transitioned from doing the lettering box to kids box, so really excited about that. We were just filming with one of our gals, Evie, Heidi's daughter. And first off, I just want to do some housekeeping stuff. If you have, for all 3 subscriptions, if you have been, sorry.
Good save.
If you have been having any issues with either your billing or shipping, we want you to know that we are working so hard to figure that all out. We just had a little bit of some technical issues, so if you're in that boat, don't worry, don't fret. If you're a subscriber, we have you handled. We know about it. We're gonna figure it out.
Yes, we're working diligently.
Yes, and so you'll hear a more further update in a few days. I just wanted to let you know that we know it's happening. Okay. Second thing is that I am here to just talk a little about lettering. Actually, this is more in general. Did any of you know that we have so much free resources on our website? So I think one of the cool things and one of the reasons why I love being a part of this company is that we believe in sharing. We believe that art is for everyone. You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to pay money. We literally want to empower you to know that all of us are artists here. We all are creative. And so if you didn't know this, I want you to tell you, is this isn't just for lettering. This is actually just a thing about our website in general, is that if you can do the overhead.
Yep, ready? Here we go.
Okay. Is this a good spot?
Yep,
the glare might
that's a
be
great spot.
interesting.
Do you want to put Steve under the iPad?
Perfect. Steve is Keenan's handy dandy
Dictionary.
dictionary. Not handy dandy notebook. Did you ever watch Blue's Clues?
Yeah. Steve.
You know how he's, huh?
Isn't his name Steve in Blue's
Is
Clues?
that his name?
I think so.
Oh, I was just thinking because he goes handy dandy notebook.
Notebook.
Okay, is on our website.
Nicole,
Yeah.
I was thinking if you put Steve as like a wedge, so there's less glare.
Not like what I was doing. Like
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, can everyone see that better?
That's good, yeah.
Really? That's better?
Yep.
Okay. On our website, there are so many different things. So what I want you to know is that, I know this is on the iPad, so it's a little bit different, but at the top, you'll see a Learn With Us tab. And so you will see,
It is still a little bright. It's hard to.
Bummer. Okay, well, I'll go
It
fast.
may be hard it being a screen.
That's true. I thought this would be a good, I'm such a visual learner.
Oh yeah, no, you're great.
Okay, Learn With Us tab, there are project catalogs, beginner series, and resources. So this is probably your home base to start out with. So we have project catalogs, which is all of the tutorials that you've seen, whether it's Jessie, Sarah, or I, are on here. And actually the kids' ones are on here too. So if we click on project catalogs let's go to the lettering tab. You'll see that all of the tutorials that we've done are on here. And so if you've ever seen, whether it's watercolor or lettering or art journal, if you've seen a project, you might want to search in here and say Polaroids, for example, and this project will pop up. So the really cool thing is that on these, you will have the video, and you can also get the practice sheets from here, and we'll let you know what supplies we use. Again, you can use whatever supplies you have and you want to use. But this is just a really cool thing because all our videos are here for free for you guys. Then the other thing I wanted to show you is when it comes to specific, actually all of us have it, is there's a beginner series. So if you are new here and you're brand new, first off, welcome. And you will see that there's a whole community of people, which I love seeing. There's a whole community of people who we want to cheer each other on doing art. So you're in the right place if this is your first time being here with us. Now we have a beginner lettering series for art journaling, watercolor, and lettering. And so this is a fun thing that also SJ, one of our marketing team gals, did such an amazing job at creating this beautiful home base for you all. So if you click on Learn With Us Beginner Lettering Series, I clicked on the lettering one. For lettering, I did a 10-part series that goes over a lot of different things. And this is a great way to start. So the cool thing is that, I don't know if you can see this, but there's an overview and it says what's on the video. So the first one is 3 myths about lettering. Because I'm sure I've heard you have thought this, is that I can't do lettering because I have bad handwriting. Or cursive is the same as hand lettering and I don't have good cursive. Or lettering is just one kind of technique and I can't do it, so it's not for me. So if you watch this video, I debunk that and help you see that you can do that. So you can watch the video from this website. You also can click another tab and there's the supplies that are suggested. So we don't want to leave you hanging and you watching this video, because I think that's what happens with a lot of kind of art companies in general, is that you might see a cool thing and you're like, how do you do that? We are here to show you that these are the supplies and steps to help empower you to try it on your own.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's really nice.
We don't want to leave you hanging. We're all a big happy family. So that is all there. Now, what I wanted to specifically talk about is for lettering, because I know that our monthly box isn't happening anymore, which, by the way, there are some extra of past month's boxes if you do want to get on that. But we're still here. We still have a home base for lettering. It's not like just because that's ending that this completely ended. So I wanted to do this video to show you guys that along with these beginner lettering series is that, let's see on some of them, there are download practice sheets. So if you go to get the supplies, you'll see that there are practice sheets. Now, what I want to show you is if you scroll all the way to the top, there's a bunch of writing that just says a little bit about me, but it also says download all the practice sheets you'll need here. So if you click on that, you can add this to your cart, but it's 0.000. So it doesn't cost you anything. So you can add this to your cart and download all of these, and you'll get an instant PDF that has all this practice sheet for you. So I created this as a way to help you get started. So what you'll have is, if you have that practice sheet, you'll get all of these different sheets that help kind of get you in the zone and practice with lettering. So there's one with that foundation strokes. There's one with the ABCs. There's one with how to do angled lettering or versus straight up and down. So there's 10 different series. I don't know how many pieces of paper I have, but there's a lot of paper. Ream.
This is a full ream.
If you haven't watched it, can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Keenan did a funny video. If you all are here, if you haven't, please go watch. It was an April Fool's joke that Keenan did, and it's called Coloring with Keenan.
It may be unlisted, so you may have to request a link to it. It's a VIP video.
You can add it in for them.
Yeah, I can probably add it in.
It'll brighten your day.
I'll find it.
You'll hear me cackling in the back. But so there's so many different, that's where that joke came from.
Yes.
Is I teach you how to do foligraphy, because with lettering there's so many different styles that's one of the myths that you'll see, is that so many people feel like, well, it's just one style lettering. So I want to help break it down and do all this. So again, all of this is free. We want you to create with us. Okay. Is there any, I just want to see, I'm going to flip through some questions. Justine, I would love if you sold all the free lettering templates as a packet. My printer doesn't work well. That's a good idea. It's definitely in the back of my head to create a practice notebook, but I love that idea of combining them. So thank you, Justine, for that idea. And also, for those of you who don't know, we love hearing your suggestions and ideas, because we are Let's Make Art because of you all. So thank you for that idea. Sarah says, I love that you all name objects, paintbrushes, dictionaries, what's next? Yes, Steve and Keenan and Brock are the brushes.
They used to have different names. We've gone through some brushes, so we've had to cultivate some names.
What were the other ones? Hank.
Hank and I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Okay, so we have, let me see if there's any other things on our website that I wanted to
I can't share the video that you mentioned on Facebook. I can only share it on YouTube.
Oh.
I don't have our Facebook account.
Oh, well,
so
maybe someone on our team is on and they can. I think Aisha's on and Raven. Okay, while Keenan's getting that, the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so on this Learn With Us tab is we also have a digital downloads tab. And so on that, our team is awesome, and they separated it where you'll see at the top there's watercolor outlines, lettering practice sheets, and art journaling outlines. So with Sarah and Jesse, when they do their projects, they do a lot of outlines. So it's the same thing where they give this to you all for free. So it's, if you have any, you've seen with Sarah, this one shows the peony, so it's an outline that you can use. You can print that out, you can use tracing paper to copy it onto your watercolor paper, and then you've got a big head start on your painting. So that's all there. So all that at the top. And then if you scroll down, you can see if you're logged in your account, you can access all the past downloads. Again, there are so many. Every single tutorial that we've done has one. And Sarah's done
over
100. I've done over like 60 or 70 we were counting the other day. So there's so many. Then the other thing, how do I do this? Or can I go to our YouTube from here?
Yeah.
YouTube. Is on our YouTube, the other thing is that if you just want to watch our videos, you can go to YouTube and you can watch them all. So they're separated by the watercolor ones, and then the lettering ones, and then the art journaling ones. So this is a really good thing. And then if you want within this, if you want to see all the beginner lettering series, you can also search that in here. So this is a really good home base if you're just in the mood to just watch videos.
You can also sort it. So if you want to see the oldest videos, you can do that.
Oh, how do you do that?
On the, I can't
me.
see the screen very well in yours, but on the computer, you can choose on the right side, it would say sort by.
Oh, cool.
And you can choose most popular, newest, and oldest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you can see them all?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Learn something new every time. So those are all there for you. Now, are there any questions? Oh, they added your Keenan's crayon tutorial.
Did they?
It'll be very good.
Nice.
Oh, Keith!
Keith. Oh my gosh.
Good
I
job,
forgot.
Vicky.
Nice
Sarah
one.
will be really proud. Keith and Hank.
That is awesome.
Yes, Judy and Tiffany said yes. Okay. So, are there any, I guess since I'm here, if there's any specific lettering questions, feel free to pop them in and I'll answer. But the last thing that I wanted to do while we have this time together is show you that there are so many different supplies for actually all art mediums. But with lettering, there are a few that I would recommend if you are first starting out. So let's grab some of them. Okay, so these are all brush pens. And brush pens have a flexible tip, so they act, if you're from the watercolor crew, then they act like a brush. So they're all flexible. So on this tip, you'll see that they have a similar, this is a brush. So they have a smaller point at the top and then they're wider at the bottom. And so the really cool thing that I want to show you is that they're just like all of us, we are all unique in our own ways. Pens have their own tendencies, they have their own personalities. Some of them can be frustrating at times, some of them can be not.
Sometimes they act like toddlers.
Yeah. So that's why I think that I want you to know that there's not one that you have to get that's like the magic tool to start out. I think that it depends on all different things. So I'm going to show you is that actually this is the Tombow Dual Brush Pen that you'll see me use a lot, especially in the earlier tutorials. And so if you were to use our practice download, you can see that you can get thin lines and you could push really hard and get thick lines. So this is the cool thing about a brush pen is that you can get both thin and you get both thick depending on how much pressure you get. So they're flexible. So there's bigger ones like that, and then another good one is the Fudenosuke that I would recommend, which is smaller. And so because it's smaller, I have to push harder to get a really thick stroke. But this is probably one, so let's see. This is probably the one that I would recommend the most if you are first starting out. It's really friendly, it's flexible but not too flexible. So I would say that. Another good one is the Le Pen Flex. And Le Pens are actually one of my favorite pens, but they made a brush pen, so it's a similar thing where you could push hard and go thin. I think a lot of you really liked the Le Pen from this was from the February box. So then the last one I wanted to show is, I think we now have, if one of our team members can add this in, if you have been with me, it was in May that we did metallic brush pens. We have them now in stock again. I think I saw the other day, so I'm really excited. So we have silver, there's a whole pack of them, but these are I wish I had black paper somewhere, but this is a really pretty gold. So these are beautiful brush pens that I discovered that I was really excited to share with you all because they're, I don't know any other brand that has metallic ones like this. So these are really good ones. So this is the Zig Fude Biore. Now, Tamara, my pen obsession has exploded since you came on board, Nicole. LO Fudenosuke is in every color. Yes, there are, yes. So the Fudenosuke, this is the one, Tamara, I love that, Tamara, comes in. So there's a few different colors. I think we also have a pack of them. Yep. But those are all different colors. Tiffany, do you like the Sakura Pigma brush pens? I actually was testing them out. Yes, so those are really good ones. Those are a little bit more flexible. Tiffany, tell me if you feel like, or if you're wondering, I'm sure you probably haven't bought them if you're asking me. I'll play with them more and then maybe next time I'll do a video. Actually, would that help everyone if I did show each pen and the different tendencies of them?
Right now?
No, not right now.
At some point?
at some point.
That'd probably be good.
I'll do a video that shows each pen, and maybe I'll do a rating of like flexibility, of size, and I'll write down the tips to go with each of them, because they all kind of have, like I was saying, they have their all different personalities. So let me know if that would help you all. Okay.
Jessica on YouTube says, we love videos.
Okay, good. I will do that then. Kristen said, are all the freebies free forever, or are they free for a short time?
That is an excellent question.
Forever sounds like forever.
Forever's a long time.
But yes, at the moment, we've been doing tutorials. We have no plans to not make them free. So yes.
Check.
Please don't hold that against me. I'm just kidding. But yes, so we don't have any plans at all to make them not free. Like since the very beginning, since I started, since Sarah started, all of those are free. So yes. Okay. Tamara says bleed properties. Okay. Let me write this down.
Oh, bleed properties.
That's a great thing. Bleed, I said size, flexibility. So I'll do a comparison for everyone. And this is funny. Can you read that?
Let me see if I can read it. Let's see, we'll send it.
This is
we'll show it to
proof
'em.
that you don't need to have good handwriting to do lettering.
Sire bleed purpose. Nope. Flaxen billing.
This is how I write. It's so funny because even Talon, who's a new team member of ours, she was like, "Oh, your handwriting." I think it caught her off surprise that I don't have nice handwriting. I can do lettering, but I might not have nice handwriting. So, just wanted to show that. Okay. Now, were there any other questions or comments or?
I have one other thing to add to your list.
Yes, thank you.
Water-based or permanent is a good factor to know about too.
Okay.
And then a question from Kellen. I believe that is the correct way to say that name.
I love that name.
It is Kellyn.
Ooh,
I think
that's
it's
a
Kellen.
cool
I think it's
name.
cool.
Wait, I want to write that.
Kellen asks tips for lefties.
Yes.
I struggle lifting pressure in time when moving from a thick downstroke into a thin upstroke.
Kellyn?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a cool name. Okay, Kellen. So for lefties, and this will apply for righties in either one, is I think about a few different things. One is the position of my paper. And so I am right-handed, so I tend to rotate my paper a little bit to the left because it helps me draw like that. If you're left-handed, what I would suggest is try and rotate a little bit like this. And see, I also want to say is that this isn't a foolproof. Just because I'm showing you this doesn't mean that you're going to get it right on the first try. But I want to show you is I've also taught lefties in person, and I've seen some of them write with their paper perpendicular.
Yep.
So they write like this, and it helps them to get the thin and then get the thick, which actually, that feels pretty good. Kellyn. So that way, and I know it's a little bit different because you're not actually pushing down, but what you can think of is maybe you say when you're coming this way. So when I'm coming this way, I'm going to push thick on the down, then on the right. Thick, Kellyn. So thick, then on the up, thick on the down. I'm not a lefty, but that will help with practicing. And maybe I need to draw myself some lines. That would help. But I hope that shows, Kellen, that you can see that I was still able to get thin and thick lines. So it's kind of retraining your brain to think about when the pressure. And a good tip, actually, if this is your first time, maybe you Kellyn. What you can do is you can draw it with your pencil just like how you would normally do it, and then you can draw as if you, or think about when you are coming down. So when I say thick on the down, that means when my hand is coming towards me, in this case. So I'd be going thick on the down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw myself some arrows. So So it'd be thick there. On the K's, I don't really think about as much about, but maybe you draw it thick there. So
K's are a tricky letter.
they're one of my favorite letters.
They're
to
like
draw.
a downstroke, downstroke, downstroke.
Yeah. So that's why you can make them anyway. But this way I'm adding arrows to when my hand would be drawing down. And that will help me, thin on the up, thick on the down. Maybe that will help you as you're gaining muscle memory, because this is the one thing about lettering that I want you to know. If you're struggling or having trouble with figuring out lettering and why it's not working out, think about it as you're building this muscle. And I know it's a little bit different, especially if you're used to watercolor or even art journaling where it's a little bit more free. This is kind of it's like anything we learned as a kid. Swimming, biking, you kind of have to do it once, and then you don't really, it's frustrating, you fall off, or you maybe need to get back up.
Splash a lot.
Yeah, you splash a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. Think about if you were a kid and you were teaching a kid, you wouldn't say, you stink, you're bad at that, give up.
Yeah.
You would say, get right back up, get back on. We're gonna keep training that muscle and it will start to come. So I want you to remember that instead of just giving up. And I understand if lettering's not your thing. I'm not here telling you, I won't be offended if it's not your thing, but I just don't want you to feel in yourself that you're not good enough or that you're not able to do this. Sorry, that was my little tangent pep talk. But going back to this is that this way I have my arrows. So if I were to continue my muscle memory, is now I can see and I can push harder when I have my down arrow. So maybe you even just practice that. Maybe you practice just the down. So I'm practicing pushing really hard on those spots. So that's a good tip to help practice and gain that muscle memory. Okay, Kellen, those are my other things. And oh, the other thing for lefties is that this is with everyone too, is that some people are overwriters, especially with lefties. I'm trying to think what Heidi is, who we were talking about it the other day. Or some people are underwriters where they write from below. That's something that maybe you experiment with. And maybe it's a little bit different than when you write versus when you are lettering. So for example, for me, when I'm right-handed, it's harder for me to draw and attack the letter from the bottom. So it's harder for me to draw a thick downstroke when I'm coming from the bottom. But if I rotate my hand and I come from the side, it's a lot easier to really push and get that thick stroke. So maybe that's something with you experiment with is where are you positioning yourself? So being a little bit mindful of that.
Kellen says, "Aw, thanks."
Cool. Okay, good.
My name actually means Irish woman warrior.
Yes!
She said she's going to try the sideways paper. Thank you so much.
Kellen, that's epic. I love that so much. Okay.
Aisha says hi.
Hi, Aisha. How are you? Okay. Doris says, I'm right-handed, but my writing inclines to the left. It is very difficult for me to write inclining to the right. Any suggestions? Oh, so Doris, you're saying that you're right-handed, but my writing tends to incline to the left. I'm trying to think if that means that you draw like this. Do you think that's what that means?
Read it
inclining?
again.
I'm right-handed, but my writing inclines to the left.
As she writes towards the...
It is very difficult for me to write inclining to the right. I'm trying to understand what that means.
Wonder if her letters grow or if they shrink.
Oh, is that part of it?
Incline.
Doris, can you?
They climb as she writes to the right. If she's right-handed, because she's writing to the right. Because we don't write left.
Right.
To left.
She's right-handed.
So I'm not sure.
Okay. Explain that again and then maybe I'll get it.
I'm entirely too visual to not know.
Okay, Katie. Hi, Katie. Katie's on our social team. Underwriting is the only way for me. If not, I end up covered with ink. Also, overwriting just hurts my wrist. Okay, that's totally fair because I know that people, so she's saying that underwriting is the only way. So Katie, if that is the case, then I would really figure out what works for you for rotating your paper. Because if underwriting is what works for you, then maybe you're halfway. Katie, another K. Oh, I need more underwriting. So Katie, if you're an underwriter, can you rotate just a little bit? So I'm not asking you to be an overwriter, kind of just rotate a little bit. So I'm still under.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Because rather than, it's probably hard to be it is hard to be an underwriter and come from here. That feels awkward. And I can't get the thin and thick. But if I rotate just slightly, I could still be an underwriter and get that thin and thick line. So maybe that will help.
Back to the, what was the word she used? Incline?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is saying, Nan says, I think she means slant. Slanting to the left. Donna says, when I was a kid, it was called backhand. It just meant your writing slanted the wrong way. Usually hold the pen pencil properly.
Oh, so we're talking about
Almost
angled
like
lettering.
italics, sounds like.
Okay. So if you're trying to angle your letters, if that is what you mean, Doris, it means that I write the letter I, for example, is tilted to the left. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Slanted. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, nice.
That was great teamwork.
That is great teamwork. That was fun.
So Doris, so this is part of the beginner lettering series part 8, and this is specifically on angled lettering. So this may help to have this as you are creating that muscle memory, because I totally understand. So what she's saying, I think this is what you're saying, Katie, is that if you were to draw an eye like that, hers tend to be like that. Yes, that makes sense, slanted, rather than like that. Do I have marker paper here?
We might have marker paper here. I'll go check.
I think I have some upstairs at least.
This one?
Yes, thank you. Perfect. So there's a couple different papers that I would recommend. Marker paper is one that I really love. There's also the Rhodia. Is the Rhodia dot pad there? Sorry.
I'll check.
So marker paper, you don't have to have this exact one, but marker paper is it's kind of like tracing paper, but the nice thing is that it still will hold markers and even watercolors. So what you can do is you can take this practice worksheet and put it, whoo, bubble, put it underneath the marker paper so I can see those lines. And so those angled lines will help. Doris, I'll draw your name. So let's see, actually, if I were to eliminate that and I were to write Doris's name, so notice I'm going slow, thick on the down. Is this an okay spot?
Let me see.
I think I'm
Yes, that's
high.
a good spot.
Okay, so that's if I were to write Doris's name kind of standing up straight. Now, if you want to draw it more angled, have this handy dandy paper underneath. I'm gonna put it right there. So now it will help me. So I see these angled lines. I don't know if you can see them underneath, but I can see them. So it will help me when I'm drawing my downstrokes especially. I'm gonna have them all be at this slanted angle. Let me do this so you can see. So my O's even gonna be a little bit tilted because it's also slanted. So my I, I'm gonna draw it directly or parallel to that line that I see underneath. Like that. Would that help, Doris? Tell me if that would help you. But this is a really great resource if you are trying to angle your lettering, that will help. Okay. Now, did I get everything?
I think so. I have 0 questions on
Let's
the
see.
YouTubes.
Oh, Tiffany, I can do an S, but I cannot do a 2. I am left-handed. It does not matter how much I rotate the paper. I still can't get a clear curve. Okay, let me try this, Tiffany. Tiffany's left-handed. Oh, Tiffany, I didn't know that you were left-handed. Okay, 2. So you can do an S. Tiffany, what pen do you like to use?
My 2 always looks like those pigeons or Yeah, pigeons on,
Pigeons?
you know, like a bird that's like real squatty. That's what my twos look like.
Can you draw one?
No.
We can show everyone?
Nope, can't do it.
Come on. So, let's see. First of all, I feel like twos, there's so many, twos are just it is an interesting shape, letter, and it's not a letter, it's a number. Because if I were to draw them right-handed, you can draw them skinny, you can draw them wide. This is gonna get a little bit more technical, so don't worry if you don't even want to think about this. But this is now going more into the shapes of your letters. And so you can have, especially with the two, because your curve can come lower.
You fixed my two.
Like that. What, is that your two?
No, you fixed, my two was like the first one you did.
Yeah.
And then I saw you draw those other ones, and then I got a good two.
Awesome. I still want to see your pigeon too. So you can draw them. So maybe you think about what I would suggest, Tiffany, is if you're more frustrated with the shape, this goes for any letter. If you're more frustrated with the shape of your letter and the way you look, here's the way you practice. Use a pencil, use a pen, use your regular tool that you don't get as frustrated with. If you have our Tombow Dual brush pens, it's cool because you can just take the other side off and maybe I draw my two. So if I were to do that, you can draw them different ways and figure out what you like better. Then, especially if you have marker paper, now, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, I'm going to trace over this. So I'm going to think about, maybe for this one, I don't think about pressure. Maybe on this one I do. Thin on the up, thick on the down. Horizontal lines, you can choose what you want them to be. But this way, I am not having to think so much about the shape of it, and I'm just, again, giving myself some muscle memory to practice. So that might be a good tip to figure that out. Okay. Tiffany uses Prismacolor art marker. I need to play with those actually. Okay, Tiffany, I hope that will help. Actually, I didn't really even answer your question. I just showed you different ways to draw too. When it comes to the curves of yours, let's see. I'm trying to figure out which part of your two you don't like, the curve, because another tip is when you start to put pressure. So what I mean by that is that if I were to do this and I push early, it creates this really heavy spot up there. Whereas if I wait a little bit longer, so I go thin on the up, I come over my curve, so maybe right there, and then I start to push. That might help a little bit, is to think about when you're putting the pressure. Okay. Tiffany, thank you. I will try the tracing method. All my lines are really thick. There is no up on the thin. Ah, okay, so that's training your hand to think more about pressure. So actually Keenan taught me this one time where when we were doing a tutorial, we were doing this where you kind of play a game with yourself and see how thin you can make your lines. So I'm just lightly grazing, and then as you come over here, you start to add more pressure. So maybe I put medium pressure and then put really, really hard. And then maybe you go back to the beginning and do really light pressure. So that's one drill that may help. The other thing, Tiffany, that I want to show you and for everyone else is if you think about and you really analyze the part of the brush. Again, I'm sorry I'm getting really technical. I'm just trying to give you all different tips. Don't be overwhelmed, again, if this is your first time. But another thing you can think about is the part of the tool that you're using. And so if we're looking at this, you'll see that there's the tip, and then as I was showing you, it gets wider at the bottom. If you're having trouble getting a really thin line, what may be happening is that when you're pressing, even though you're really telling yourself do really light pressure, you may be not so much on the tip, and you may be on kind of part of the body or the belly of the brush pen. which means that, so I'm still lightly grazing, but can you see how my lines are a little bit thicker? Actually, can we do a side cam?
Yep. I went straight to your face on accident.
Oh, okay.
I've never done this before. I'm really sorry. Just kidding, I've done this a lot.
It's okay.
Now we're there. Now
Keenan
you're
can
ready.
fire you, or Keenan can fire you.
Sarah can fire me later.
So what I was saying was that if I'm using, so I'm still lightly grazing, but if you notice when I'm pressing, I'm kind of on I'm not on the very tip. Whereas if I move my hand and I come up a little bit more, you see now how I'm using the tip? Can they see that?
Oh yes, they can see it.
Okay. So I know that's a different way to hold your brush pen, but experiment and see if you can try that out and see if it works. So what I did, if we can go overhead now, is the difference is this versus I rotated just a little bit to get more on top of it. So if you think about, I'm coming straight up and down. You know how Sarah teaches to draw the thin lines like this? It's kind of a similar thing where I'm using the tip of this rather than more this side.
One thing I've been experimenting with lately is which fingers I hold the pen with and how many. It's
and what
actually
have
giving
you-
me more control if I have, like, instead of holding it like how you're holding it now,
Yeah.
if you put your hand forward.
Can you show everyone?
I
I was like, wait, this is...
haven't gotten any better. I've just noticed that it's a more control for me to have 3 fingers versus 2.
Oh, you draw like that?
Well, yeah. Well, I have like one posted up over here.
Whoa.
Behind. Yeah.
Okay, so this is another thing you experiment with. Yes, I love that Keenan's saying this, is the grip. So I have no control like this.
Yeah, that's what I've discovered. I had no control.
So he's now trying 3 fingers, and that helps?
Yes.
Okay, I love that. I have like 5 fingers, I feel like. No, I have, let's see. Everyone grips so differently. So that's why a good point to start with is how do you write, Keenan? Do you usually write with 2 fingers?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's probably why I have such poor handwriting.
You don't have bad handwriting, actually. I can read it. Okay,
No.
is that, I lost my train of thought for a second. So just experiment, because a lot of times people feel like, okay, I need to grip it a certain way. You might see other lettering artists who grip it a certain way differently. Everyone is so different with their grips. So yes, maybe you think about, is it 3 fingers? Is it 4 fingers? Is it high or is it low? I tend, and also when you were showing me, Keenan, is I tend to grip closer. I feel like I have more control than I know some people can go like this, and I feel like I have no control.
That always feels more fun to me for some reason.
It does, probably
feel
because it's more
fancy.
loose.
Oh, loose.
Oh, it's fancy.
Fancy.
You fancy. So many different ways to do it. Okay. I feel like that was a lot more technical than I'd want to get. I'm a little out of breath.
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. I can't scroll all the way back. But if there's anything else, feel free to let us know. Again, we are here to just create with you. So there's so many resources, like I said in the beginning of this video, that are free for you. There are beginner series for all 3 mediums. I haven't made a kids one yet, actually, but maybe we'll think about it. We have art journaling, watercolor, lettering, and now kids subscription box that we are just so excited to be creating with you all. Thank you, everyone, for being here, we always appreciate how warm and kind you are to each other. And so amongst the chaos of the world, of the quarantining, of just some not so great things going on, we hope that we are a source of light and love and happiness for you guys, and you give that back to us. So we just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us. And watch Keenan's Coloring with Keenan video, because it'll probably add a little bit more bright and fun to your day as well. So we'll see you guys later, and